A baby is born in North Korea, but as soon as they're born, the innocent child is declared a traitor. North Korea is known for having some of the world's strictest laws, and some of them are so unbelievable they're hard to swallow. For example, there's an election, but there are no options for who you can vote for. You can only vote for one person, and if you don't, you go straight to jail. There's only one channel on TV, and you can't even change the channel. North Korea is probably the only country in the world where you can go to jail not for committing a crime, but for just thinking about it. Welcome once again to the Dastain videos. Until 1945, Japan ruled over all of Korea for 35 years. But after World War II, Korea was divided into two parts, North Korea and South Korea. North Korea was under the influence of the Soviet Union, while the South was influenced by America. In 1948, Kim Il-sung of the Kim dynasty was made the leader, and North Korea became the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. However, democracy never truly existed there. In 1950, a war broke out between North and South Korea, known as the Korean War. But after the war ended, no peace treaty was signed. As a result, both countries are still technically in a state of war. To maintain power in North Korea, only one family has ruled to this day. First Kim Il-sung, then Kim Jong-il, and now Kim Il-sung's grandson, Kim Jong-un. Each ruler has relied on strict laws to protect their position. Many rules have been created to suppress people through fear and punishment, to ensure they don't get influenced by South Korea and Western culture and turn against the regime. Today, we'll talk about some of these bizarre rules. Let's begin. Bizarre laws and rules in North Korea. In 2024, North Korea banned the use of sunglasses and wedding dresses. In the metro and public stations, music isn't played. Instead, speeches by the Kim family are broadcast. During this time, no one is allowed to talk to each other or make noise. If people in North Korea are caught watching South Korean dramas or Hollywood films, they face severe punishment or are sent to labor camps. These measures are taken to prevent ideological contamination, so that foreign influences don't affect the citizens. In North Korea, ordinary people aren't allowed to use the internet, but only an intranet. This is a completely closed network that only operates within North Korea. The state monitors this network to see what people are watching, reading, and talking about. This way, the government controls the information that reaches the people, so they are not influenced by the outside world. It's illegal to make international phone calls without the state's permission. If you need to talk to someone outside the country, you must get permission from the government. TV, radio, and newspapers can only be operated by the state. The concept of private media is non-existent. This state-run media only praises the government and the Kim dynasty and talks about foreign enemies such as the US. A deep hatred for America and its allies is instilled in the public from childhood. The North Korean government also strictly controls people's hairstyles. The government has approved a few specific hairstyles, so people are told exactly what kind of hairstyles they can have. Everything that shows foreign influence is banned, such as wearing jeans, dyeing hair, or wearing flashy clothes. Those who do are punished and their belongings are confiscated. Not just clothes, but eating certain foods is also forbidden. Hot dogs are banned because they are common in American culture, and budai jjigae and tteokbokki are banned for being South Korean dishes. To travel from one city to another, you must have a permit. Without it, travel is considered illegal. North Korean passports are only given to the elite class, such as government officials and Kim Jong-un's close associates. The general public can't even dream of leaving North Korea. In North Korea, whether it's land, a house, a shop, or a business, everything is state property. No one can own them. They can only use them, that too with the state's permission. It's also illegal to follow or practice any religion. People can't follow any religion of their choice. While there are churches in North Korea, they are only for show to the outside world, to create the illusion of religious freedom. In reality, anyone who uses them is sent to labor camps. The 3 generations of punishment. If a person tries to go against the government or speaks out against the Kim dynasty, not just that person, but their entire family is imprisoned. This punishment can be extended to 3 generations. For example, if a person is declared a traitor and many years later their grandchild is born, that innocent child will also be called a traitor. This is to ensure that the blood of rebellion never rises against the Kim family. In every neighborhood, apartment, and around every house, there are government spies who secretly keep an eye on everyone. The strangest thing is that in this country, you can go to jail not just for committing a crime, but for just thinking about it. If someone thinks something against the government and it gets reported, it's like shooting themselves in the foot. Self-criticism sessions and loyalty tests. From birth until death, every week, there are self-criticism sessions. In a packed classroom, people confess their mistakes, like hiding someone's weakness from the government, not praising Kim Jong-un enough, or being impressed by something foreign. Then people apologize for their mistakes, and others in the class criticize them. In North Korea, voting is mandatory for every person. But the surprising thing is that people can only vote for the person the government wants. In other words, there are no elections where people vote to choose their leader. Instead, only one candidate is voted for, and anyone who doesn't vote is considered a traitor. So why even have a vote when the government only puts up its own people? The election isn't for choosing a leader, it's a loyalty test. When 100% of the people vote for the same candidate, the government considers it a sign of its power and public unity. There's also a national assembly called the Supreme People's Assembly, but its job isn't to make decisions, but just to rubber stamp the decisions made by Kim Jong-un. All citizens of North Korea are required to memorize the government's 10-point ideological principles. If anyone stutters while reciting them, they'll be called a traitor. Not a single point in these 10 principles is without the mention of Kim Il-sung's name. Every TV set in North Korea is tuned only to government channels like Korean Central Television. This means people can't change channels on their own, and tuning into other channels is illegal. Imported TV sets have their NTSC tuners disabled beforehand. Bicycles also require registration and a license plate. To ride a bicycle, you must pass a road safety test and get a license. Clothes with foreign logos, slogans, or flags are not allowed. The government sees these things as cultural influences from the outside world and wants people to only embrace North Korean identity. Restrictions on tourists and citizens alike. Not just citizens, but tourists also have to follow strict laws. A guide must accompany tourists, and they can only visit locations approved by the North Korean government. They are not allowed to talk to locals or openly take pictures. If a tourist wants to interview a citizen, they can't do so without the tour guide's permission. Mobiles and computers are allowed in North Korea, but everything from USB drives to mobile memory is regularly checked. If any content from the outside world is found, the person can be punished. North Korea has an inhumane social classification system for its citizens called Songbun. This system determines a child's life from the moment they are born, and it's based on their family's history. There are 3 classes. 1 core. This category includes people whose ancestors participated in Kim Il-sung's revolution or were soldiers in the Korean War. They are considered the most loyal to the government and are given the best jobs, such as high ranks in the government or military, and are allowed to live in the capital city of Pyongyang. Only this class is allowed to own cars. 2 wavering. These are ordinary North Korean citizens. Their ancestors were also ordinary laborers or farmers, or their past was neither very good nor very bad in the eyes of the government. They are allowed to have middle-class facilities in North Korea. Hostile. This category includes people whose ancestors followed a religion at some point or had a relationship with someone in South Korea. The North Korean government considers them traitors and gives them the lowest status in society. They are given the worst jobs, such as working in mines, manual labor, or sanitation, daily life, and the Juche calendar. Electricity, water, and gas are all rationed, and their consumption is strictly monitored. Military service of 10 years is mandatory for every citizen, male or female, starting at age 17. It's compulsory to cry at the death of any member of the Kim family or on the death anniversaries of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. Anyone who doesn't is viewed with suspicion. It's mandatory for every house to have pictures of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, and it's a duty to clean them regularly. For ideological loyalty, school children are made to memorize the speeches of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. North Korea is so cut off from the rest of the world that even its calendar is different. It's called the Juche calendar, which started in 1912, the birth year of their supreme leader Kim Il-sung. So, the year 1912 is considered Juche 1 in North Korea, and today in 2025 it's year 113 there. Secrecy and information control. There are many reasons why North Korea remains so isolated from the world. One is that the Kim regime fears that if people find out about the outside world, they will turn against the government. That's why media, travel, and the internet are all banned. Secondly, the international sanctions imposed on North Korea due to its nuclear program have further isolated it from the world. It's important to note that some of these rules may have been abolished, or even more severe rules may have been created. No one has updated information on this. All this information was leaked by people who managed to escape from North Korea after 1953. Some North Koreans have also created footage and smuggled USB drives through China. We hope you'll like and share this The Dastain video. Thank you so much for your loving comments.